Hello everybody, we're the AU guys from upstate New York. 6 month celebration for our metal detecting hobby, and we want to show off all of our finds. Thank you for watching. We're going to pan over, give you a quick view, and you can see we have a lot of assortment, a lot of coins, a lot of toys, some gold, some silver. This is all within 6 months. Our total find count is over
1,300.
1,300. Thank you, Hellcat. This is Hellcat and Tony. First thing we have here, some of our coins. Check it out. Just some nice clad. 2017. I mean, we were using the Garret AT Pro. We pretty much always had it on coin standard. And we'd go out once or twice a week, 2 or 3 hours here or there. You know, whenever the weather was good, and we just had a blast. And you can see we have an assortment of coins here. $16 in clad there. Look at this, $50 in clad here. Look at how big that is. We absolutely almost remember pulling each and every coin out. We have another bucket here of clad.
$50.
$50 of clad. It's a beautiful thing. Garret AT Pro makes a great machine. We use the Garret pinpointer. And we have a big bucket here. There's $100 in US tender right in this bucket, right here.
Here's an interesting, little interesting find.
$1 piece.
We pulled about 5 of these out of the ground.
Remember, the first day we pulled a couple out. We thought we were going to hit those all year. But we were fortunate enough to get about 5 of them, like the Hellcat said. Now if we come over to the next section, we have some interesting finds.
So we pulled out a total of $207.89 in 6 months of clad.
$207 of clad in 6 months. That was in the ground before we started. You can see we found a series of cars. You know, we cleaned up most of them. Some Matchbox, some not. But every one of them was in the ground when we started, and every one of them was fun to dig. Some assorted toys. Found a railroad pocket watch. Our research shows that this was probably made in the 1970s, so it's not really old. But you know what? When you pull this out of the ground, it makes you very happy. You're right, Hellcat. It is cool. We have a harmonica here. That after this video, the Hellcat's going to put on a little show for us. You got to hear him go, man. You can't beat him. A knife handle, a sprocket, and for those Disney fans, this is something we just pulled out the other day. Pirates of the Caribbean. Everybody knows Jack Sparrow. Pretty cool. A couple of medallions, a couple of buttons, Luck of the Irish. So,
here's something interesting. A Nintendo game cartridge. Works fine. My nephew says it works great. About $22, $23 off of Amazon.
Right. Not only that, his nephew's birthday's coming up. Happy birthday. A lot of these will be gifts. Now we have a little miscellaneous area here where you just see we pulled out a lot of different stuff. A sprinkler head. I'll tell you, when I found this, it was banging on my Garret AT Pro, about high 80s, and I just saw the tip come out and I thought it was a gun. We pulled it out, we cleaned it up, all brass, sprinkler head, still works.
Now we're not going to show you any trash that we got, which was of course loads, but nobody wants to see trash, so.
Yeah, for almost every piece here, you know, we did pull out our share of bottle caps, tin cans, you know, and miscellaneous stuff like that. But these are some of the better unique ones. Here's a nice old button that we thought was pretty cool. Some various keys. Some fishing stuff.
This was we were digging an old rail station, and somebody probably put this penny on the tracks, and the train obviously ran over it, and it's really kind of cool because it's flattened out pretty good.
Yeah. The train, I mean, the penny was banging like 81 on the Garret AT Pro, The train went by too fast. We couldn't really get a hit on the train. But we definitely saw it go by. We have some wheat pennies here.
Now this is a pretty unique thing that Tony pulled out of the ground. It's just basically an institutional spoon, but the thing that's really cool about it is on the handle. It says
yeah, New York State.
New
we can
York
see that.
State.
WD11N. Now, if anybody really knows what that is, please respond to our site. If any of this information, if any of these items look like you can give us some information on, please shoot us a message. We'd love to know.
Nice heavy-duty institutional spoon.
Thank you, Hellcat.
Now, out of all the clad that we found, almost $210 worth, surprisingly, we're at a lot of old sites, but surprisingly, we only found 6 wheat pennies.
Right.
But we did find a pretty interesting, in fairly good shape, a 1902 Indian head. Tony found a nice Merc, and he also found a very cool King George copper from...
Now, if I remember, Hellcat, that was pulled out this past summer up in the Adirondacks, right?
That's correct. 1755 date on that.
You know, what a blast. When you pull something like that out of the ground that's older than the U.S., it's really cool. Another piece that's cool is I found this at a kid's park, and I was really excited about it. You can see it's like a little charm that's a rollerblade, but, you know, the Hellcat knows his metals, and he told me bad news is it's not silver, but I'll tell you, it was pretty cool to pull out of the ground nonetheless. Another piece of costume jewelry. Pretty neat. It says Germany on the inside of it. We have here, actually this is silver. We haven't even cleaned it up yet. A silver
bead.
Yeah, a silver bead. Look at that. In the ground. Little bracelet here. Hellcat, why don't you tell me, because you found all of these. These Cub Scout things are pretty cool.
This is our Boy Scout neckerchief collection. Actually, this is a Boy Scout neckerchief. Again, all this was found with the AT Pro.
Do you remember what set? What was that banging out?
This was banging around at 80. This one's really in good shape. This is a Cub Scout one. And this one here is an older one, but this is, I think, represents the Weeblos.
And again, if any Cub Scout, if any of our viewers are Cub Scout experts, please shoot us an email and let us know what you think. You know, which brings us to another ring. Really, the first silver ring that we had when we're talking about Cub Scouts is we were able to pull this out of the ground.
Which is very, very cool.
It's Cub Scout. The Hellcat cleaned it up real good. What a nice piece.
And this is absolutely perfect.
Can you read what's on there
dings.
for the viewers? Can you read that? What's it say? Cub Scout?
Yeah, it says Cub Scouts BSA.
You know, the interesting thing about this is we found it. It's a size 4. It still had the Band-Aid on the back because my guess it was a little big for the user. And as we know, all kids, you know, they wrap a little Band-Aid around it. You can see, hopefully you can see it's a size 4. But I mean, that was, I think, may have been our first ring.
This was our first ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really cool ring. Perfect condition.
We followed that up with a nice little charm here, a silver charm. You can see with a nice little stone.
Little opal stone in the center.
Sterling silver.
We'll take it.
Yeah, it's not going to change our lives, but I'll tell you, it's fun to pull precious metals out of the ground. Another charm here with some hearts on it, which is really nice because, you know, Mrs. Hellcat will maybe get this on Valentine's Day.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, the Hellcat found this himself. I mean, you can't beat him. I'm going to move these over just so we can focus on what this is. Why don't you give us a little...
Okay, this was found actually on a beach, and it's a tungsten wedding band, and I would have gladly tried to give it back to whoever lost it, but unfortunately as with most of these things. It wasn't identified, so.
It looks like
There
it
you
has
have it.
Roman numerals, you know, from 1 to 12.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's pretty heavy ring. I can understand
It is heavy.
and see how it could have fallen off a finger, but
Tell you, it looks brand new. If anybody can give us more information on this, we'd love to hear it. You know, then we found this. This I remember pulling out of the ground maybe about a month and a half ago. It's a sterling silver ring. It has an H on it. And this was banging 91 hard 8 inches down. I mean, it was